Alrighty. Alrighty. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's session on Safe Space. My name is Noeline Mumbi. I am a supply chain professional and Safe Space curator. So, Safe Space is a space where we get the questions, concerns that we have answered and answered by subject matter experts. It's a judgment-free zone, meaning please do feel free to ask the questions that you have either on DM or directly in the comment section on LinkedIn. And then also, it's a space for capacity building and capability building. Just take a moment to learn, glean as much as you can from the subject matter experts who join us. Today, I am joined by Miss Muthoni Njoroge. Good morning. Oh, wow. Morning. Good evening, Miss Muthoni. How are you? Hi, Miss Muthoni. Can you hear me? All right, let's just give her a moment to connect. One moment, please. Hi, Miss Muthoni. You are on mute.
Oh, yes. Hi, Mumbi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Sorry, technical hitches. I've been able to join right now. Yeah, I'm
It
good now.
happens. Thank you. Thank you so much for making the time to join us. I'm just going to take a moment to introduce you to our audience. Then we will jump right into it. So, this evening we are joined by Miss Muthoni Njoroge, also known as the LinkedIn Lioness. Miss Muthoni Njoroge is a personal branding and LinkedIn expert who has trained over 350 professionals from 13 countries and has transformed over 500 clients in 17 months of her practice. She has built her authority on LinkedIn through content creation and hosting audio events where she has invited global experts to her platform. She's also known as the LinkedIn Lioness as she rose with audacity in her work and her impact. Thank you so much, Miss Muthoni, for joining us.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. So, last week, and I think for about 2 weeks, you were conducting the Global LinkedIn Summit series. Maybe you can just walk us through what that was about and the other amazing things that you're doing on LinkedIn.
Awesome, for sure. First of all, thank you so much for having me. Hello, everyone on LinkedIn as well as on X. I am Miss Muthoni Njoroge, the LinkedIn Lioness. So basically, yes, a few weeks ago, or yeah, is it weeks? Yeah, from the 24th of June to the 29th of June, I hosted the Global LinkedIn Summit. That is a summit that took place for 6 days. I had 22 speakers from 6 countries. It was an amazing experience. I got to actually, host 500 professionals in total for the 6 days. It was really incredible. We had discussions in regards to branding and marketing. We had also the finance workshop, career workshop, business workshop as well. And yes, it was truly a success. I had so many messages of guys who are really happy that they were able to actually upskill just from listening to people who are 2 5 steps ahead of them, yeah, from the experts. So that was the summit, that is the Global LinkedIn Summit. And what I basically do, I am a LinkedIn brand manager by professional. What does that entail? Basically, that is a social media manager, but now just on LinkedIn. So I actually dubbed it LinkedIn brand management. I work with leaders, C-level executives, as well as founders, just to help them brand themselves on LinkedIn and build an irresistible personal brand and have a powerful LinkedIn presence. So that was last year till now. I still do it. That's my mainstream. Yeah, let me say my main income stream. On the side, I also have trainings. I regularly have trainings. I've been holding the 14-day Global LinkedIn Bootcamp, which I've halted for now, but I've been able to actually train 375 participants from 14 countries, right? And it's been amazing. They have been able to position themselves on LinkedIn, create a personal brand, as well as have a powerful LinkedIn presence. So I'm all about personal branding and LinkedIn. By now, you should have been able to see that. And it's been a journey of now 18 months, yeah, 1.5 years, and I'm super glad I took this chance. It wasn't easy, let me tell you, because this is an opportunity I created for myself. This is a job I created for myself. So basically, my story is when I was working at a call center back in 2022, just for, just for 4 months. Okay, so I had to resign due to health issues. And so when I resigned, I was at home, unemployed. And just like any other unemployed young person, I applied for jobs. But honestly, I just got tired. I thought, you know what, let me do something. And one thing about me as a young person, I really love watching YouTube videos, right? Binge watching, especially, lifestyle videos of the guys abroad. I'm not talking about, these guys who are married and all. No, young people who are actually doing something for themselves. And so I noticed a lot of young people are getting into the digital world, social media management, web design, you name it. But social media management struck a chord in me. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. So I actually learned the skills. I got to learn it online for free. No, I did not pay anyone to teach me social media management. I made sure I looked for all courses for free, and there are so many resources. So after learning, I had to now get the experience. But I just didn't want to do all the platforms. Everyone was doing the meta platforms, and LinkedIn, but no one was focusing on one platform. Yeah. Right now, actually, a lot of guys are getting to focus. If it's meta platforms, it's meta platforms alone. If it's LinkedIn, LinkedIn alone. So for me, I felt I needed to just focus on one and be very good at it. And there's no degree or there's no certificate, literally. There's no course that you do and you become a LinkedIn expert. It's all about studying the platform. It's all about following the right people and getting to learn from them. And of course, doing the LinkedIn courses from LinkedIn Learning, right? So I got to learn it for like 4 or 5 months. I immersed myself in that. And I even did pro bono. So through pro bono, I was able to work with former colleagues as well as friends. I was able to revamp the profiles and even manage. Until that's when I decided, let me just focus on LinkedIn. And now let me call myself a LinkedIn brand manager. No other platform, just LinkedIn. I get to position you clearly for opportunities. And I was able to do that till date now. And this year I just got to start doing trainings whereby I actually train people how to position themselves better. And it's been an amazing journey, Nolene. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your journey, Miss Muthoni, and how you settled on growing yourself within the LinkedIn space. Because I think you have actually subconsciously responded to one of the questions that will potentially be asked on how do I know when to start, where to start, and what platform should I be leveraging on. Thank you so much for sharing that. And one of the reasons why I reached out to you was because I love the fact that you don't gatekeep. That, like the Global LinkedIn Summit was free, anyone could join. And I love the fact that you are availing some of this knowledge and even getting the SMEs to come in and to share their information. So thank you. Thank you so much for providing and sharing your platform and using your platform in such a powerful way. But even as we speak about that, I'm also conscious of your masterclass. So maybe you can speak to us a little bit about that.
For sure, amazing. So what I've been doing is the 14-day Global LinkedIn Bootcamp. It's a 14-day bootcamp live online. But then I noticed that so many people just wanted a one-time class. There are so many creators and professionals who have already gotten to learn a few things about LinkedIn, but they just don't know how to monetize. So I saw the need to actually just have a masterclass on monetization, and thus the LinkedIn monetization masterclass that's happening this coming Saturday, the 13th of July, from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. 3 hours of learning personal branding, right? We have to start from the basics, personal branding. Then we get to learn how you can take now your personal brand globally. Because let me tell you, if you are thinking of just, competing with local, with the local professionals or just the local people, then you are in for a surprise. Let me tell you, you need to go to the global level. That is where you need to reach, because that's where actually, the opportunities are. You get to even learn a lot and immerse yourself in so much knowledge and experience. So learning how to take your personal brand globally, we'll also learn how to generate leads and conversion tactics, definitely. And then now how you can monetize your personal brand, not just on LinkedIn, monetization fully. And now how to go about it specifically on LinkedIn, right? And then finally, visibility and growth, because you cannot just have a personal brand that you are not consistent with. Right? You need to gain that visibility, and you also need to see growth. So, visibility and growth, and definitely we have bonuses, a LinkedIn profile checklist, as well as a LinkedIn profile ebook. Literally, you'll be having two resources to actually optimize your profile. So, it's a masterclass that is filled with so much knowledge. And let me tell you, you will get out of there not just knowing how to monetize on LinkedIn, but monetizing on every other platform, because I have a website. I am monetizing through my website. I'm also on other platforms. I'm not going to lie. I've also gotten clients from Instagram, from TikTok, right? I'm not so active on X, but I can talk of the other platforms that I'm active. And as well as Telegram. I have a community on Telegram, right? So I will also show you how you can just basically monetize your personal brand, but we will put our lenses on LinkedIn and how you can actually be able to generate, an income. Let me tell you, LinkedIn is one platform that's easy, easy to generate leads. It's easy to monetize as long as you know what you're doing, as long as you have the right strategies and you're consistent. Let me tell you something, Nolene. Familiarity breeds trust. That is one thing I was actually got to learn last year. Familiarity breeds trust. What do I mean? Whenever you are consistent, I will not think of any other professional. Let's say you're a bookkeeper. I am seeing you posting every day, every single day. You have LinkedIn audio events, perhaps webinars, you have master classes. You're actually even training others who are behind you in matters bookkeeping. I will not think of any other person and unless it's you, right? Because you are already on my mind, and the fact that you're consistent, you are on my face, you are on my feed every day, and I'm seeing your growth, I'm seeing your success, I'm seeing what others are actually saying about you, right? Social proof. What are others saying about you, right? Who are your clients? What can they say about you, right? Collaborations or partnerships, your mentors, what can they say about you as well as a whole human being, right? And as a professional. So with that, trust you me, I will not think of any other bookkeeper. I will only think of you. Yet I've never met you, but you have already caught my attention. And basically, I know most of you know the KLT framework. It's a universally accepted framework that is the know, like, and trust. So when you get to know you, we need to like you. Trust you, me. We don't need to like you through your looks. We don't need to like you through your, just artificial things like how you look. No, no, no. We just need to like you through your content. Are you actually sharing valuable content? Are you educating people, right? Or are you a gatekeeper, right? So you need to share information selflessly, literally. Let it just flow. Like you don't need to think twice of sharing information, even to your competition. Yeah, trust you, me, you'll be so much ahead. So after liking you, now we need to trust you. And I will train now through the masterclass. I will train on how you can increase your trust score, because it's really important to increase your trust score. That I may not think of any other professional when it comes to web design, yeah, web development. I will only go to this guy because he has shown me time and and again, he's so good at it, and what others say about him, and what he's actually doing in the society. Let me tell you, impact actually really puts you at a higher level, because everyone might be so good. Like, let's look at your sector. Everyone might be so good, everyone is sharing information, everyone is, is top notch. The certificates, the skills, they're all good, but who is impacting? Are you looking at that person who's behind you? Yeah, that person who wants to start, not really like in your field, but someone who wishes to start even in whatever you're trying to share, right? Think of that person starting and impact them. Impact the person behind you, impact your own peers, and even impact those who are ahead of you. How can you impact those who are ahead of you? By inspiring them, by challenging them. I literally challenge my mentors. They've told me time and time again, you literally challenge me just by you showing up, by you showing your aggressiveness, by you showing your impact, that you're here to actually impact, not just earn an income and just have money in the bank, but you want to actually impact. You can actually impact, right? Sorry, you can actually inspire them. Yeah, so it's beyond just sharing information, it's beyond just getting an income. Impact is really important. Thank you, Nolene.
Thank you so much for sharing this, and you're so passionate about it, Muthoni. We can actually hear it in how you're delivering the message. And I'm just thinking about it from, as I listen to you, from the point of view of, for most of us, we only ever speak about what we are doing, who we are, what our capacity and capabilities are when we are sitting at an interview, or when we are sitting with our managers during performance reviews. And for most of us, we never really go the extra mile of saying, I want to tell my story. I want to be the one who defines who I am, what is my brand, so that if anybody is asked, what does Noeline do? What is Noeline good at? I can speak for myself at it, and I have built up the story. But that's just from my angle of thinking about it. So I'll just jump into the first question of today's session, Miss Muthoni, and ask you, in your experience, by your definition, what is personal branding?
Great question. Personal branding is simply the process of creating and managing a distinct, recognizable professional identity for oneself. Now, it's not just about you putting yourself out there. How exactly are you packaging yourself, right? What do you want to be known for? And this is where so many people go wrong. They want to be known for as a jack of all trades. I mean, when you put up on your profile, on your headline, 3 titles, where exactly are you going? No, to be honest, where exactly are you going? You need to be known for one thing only. Let me tell you, there is power in one. And this has been reiterated by so many other experts. And I'm talking of those guys abroad. There is power in being known for one thing. The whole of last year, It's only this year that I've actually introduced personal branding. But the whole of last year, I was only talking about LinkedIn. Let me tell you, Mumbi, I have over 60 skills. Yeah, 60 skills, because I did journalism, diploma in journalism and media, and I have so many skills. And let me tell you, I felt like I was in a box, but I trusted the process because I knew the moment I introduce something else, or I just start talking about this, I talk about this, I will not only confuse myself, but I'll confuse my audience. And let me tell you one thing, when you are known for so many things, people won't go to you as the expert because you have not specialized. There is power in specializing. I felt actually so I was treading so carefully, and I felt out of place when I was just, majoring on LinkedIn. And like my peers who were doing all social media platforms, I mean, threads came out last year and people jumped into it, but I never jumped into it because I saw that there is power in specializing. And as much as I felt that I was in a box, I knew there is power in it. Oh, and let me tell you, it worked wonders. It worked wonders. Nolene, I made. I'm not gonna say how much I made, but the last 2 quarters of last year, I wasn't even believing the amount of money I had in my bank account. And I wasn't even doing trainings. I was working with individuals. And so many of my former clients, as well as my followers, have reached out to me and they're like, Muthoni, you said that you've worked with 500 professionals. How have you gotten to that point? It's all about talking about one thing continuously. Let me tell you, around August, September, October, I was actually doing 20 to 25 profiles, revamping in a day. In a day. There's those 3 months that I was super busy. Let me tell you, even on the weekends, I don't think I was not even going out. There was no social gatherings or anything. I was just focused on working because the work was coming in a lot. I couldn't even imagine. And it's all about talking about one thing continuously because they will not think twice of not going to you. My competition, let's be honest, my competition, especially last year when I was starting out, I'm just a young lady. I haven't done HR. Most people who do how is it called, who do LinkedIn revamps are, the career coaches as well as HR and the CV writers. They're the guys who were my competition because no one was actually doing it like a full-time job. Yeah, I was the only one doing it like a full-time job. And let me tell you, so many times I actually questioned myself, am I really in the right place? Will people come to me? But I believed in just speaking about it. I started doing audio events. I made sure that I was so vocal, I was so loud that you couldn't ignore me. And that is how I was getting so many DMs. I'm getting so many inquiries. I'm literally waking up and I'm just seeing, so many M-Pesa messages. And I'm like, okay, wow. So who's this was paid? Have they reached out? I need to work on, like, literally, I worked on 20 to 25 revamps in a day. That was crazy. That was really crazy. But it was really amazing until I sat down and I saw, wow, I've actually created a personal brand. That's when I started now learning about personal branding and how I've been able to actually curate it. And let me get to actually talk about it because that has been my journey. And just like you've asked right now, the importance of personal branding. Honestly, it's very important because if you are known for that thing, nobody will think of someone else. Let me tell you, in matters like, let's say, even someone who's 10 steps ahead of you, but you are very visible, you're very vocal, and you know what you're doing, and you have the social proof, people will go to you. I mean, literally, I've had clients who have told me, Muthoni, when you did my revamp, I couldn't believe what you had done. Yet I have worked with career coaches before. But what you did was on another level. You actually know what you're doing and you've studied the platform. And that is the power of specialization and just building your personal brand on one thing only. So I know most professionals, you have so many skills or you've transitioned so much, right? And you don't know where to build your personal brand. You need to think of what is your purpose? What is your passion? right? And now, what do you want to be known for? And build your personal brand around it. But let me tell you, there's power in specialization. Right now, I'm just all about personal branding and LinkedIn. And that is what I'm just building upon, because that is what is generating my income. And that is that through it, I'm actually able to impact as many professionals as possible. Thank you,
Thank
Nolene.
you. Oh wow, I feel like you are dropping, how do you say, gems as you're speaking, and I just want to motivate the audience on X and on LinkedIn. Just as we are listening in, type in on the comment section what are your key takeaways as she's speaking. We take notes as we go. Modoni, as you were speaking, it actually occurred to me that the first person who asks the question on personal branding that I can speak to is actually Jesus. When he asked his disciples, who do people say I am? He was actually asking,
Mm,
what is my brand? Who do people say I am? And if
yeah.
that's an example for those of us who are of the Christian faith to follow, we ought to also be asking ourselves, what is my brand? Who do people say I am? And as you're speaking about that, we just move on to the next question, Mudoni, and we're asking, after, yes, we have all of these many skills and we want to focus on one specific skill, and you're just wondering, okay, so of my 60 skills, my 50 skills, my however many skills, how do I determine which one I should pick as my personal brand? How do I narrow it down?
Mhm. Great question. First of all, you need to know what is your purpose. I know this is so basic, but we all have a purpose in life. From you choosing that career path, but if someone else chose it for you, then unfortunately that isn't your purpose, unless now you actually love it, you actually want to build on it. But you need to sit down and ask yourself, what is your purpose, what is your calling, right? Beyond earning money, beyond earning an income, beyond making, getting all the awards in the world, what makes you happy? Literally, if I woke you up at 3 a.m., what can you do so effortlessly and you will be happy to do it? Then that is your calling and that is your purpose. And definitely that will also be your passion. And so you need now to build your personal brand around it. If you woke me up at 3 a.m. to revamp your profile, and literally for free, I will do it because that is my passion and I have mastered it so well and I love doing it. So as long as you know your purpose, as long as you know your calling and your passion, something that you can do at least. Okay, now I know we have so many, the technology is growing. I don't know if maybe in the next 2 years I'll still be doing LinkedIn, who knows? But even if my passion changes, I will already have a brand. And so I simply just transition. So basically just know what you like doing. What are your strengths? Yeah. So beyond having that purpose, what actually is your strength? So name 5 core strengths and build around it. You can never build a brand around your weakness. Please don't. As much as you admire, let's say, people in tech are making money, 6 figures, 7 figures, right? But that's not your strength. As much as you start learning it right now, and you look at it and you're not good at it, please don't build your brand around it. You will mess up hugely, right? So build your brand around your passion. A few years ago, if you told me that I mean, when our parents would say, don't go towards passion, go towards, how is it? Like, be real. Look at exactly what will earn you an income, in terms of careers and all. But today, I believe any passion, literally anything that you're passionate about, you can actually make an income from it. The digital world is here and it's here for you to actually take advantage of it. People are becoming so creative, right? I mean, when I look at even the creative industry, art, people are making art and they're selling like crazy just through social media. So right now you shouldn't have an excuse that I'm not ready to do this until I have, I don't know, this figured out, until I have this capital. No, no, no. Social media is free of charge. Use it to your advantage, right? So that's how you can determine your personal brand. So simply build on your strengths, right? So if you're really passionate about tech and you're not good at it yet, make sure you get to learn it completely until you're good at it. Unless now you realize you're struggling, then unfortunately, don't go towards it, right? Get something else that you can easily do, right? You can easily do and achieve it. Yeah. Thank you, Nolene.
Thank you for sharing that. And I like the fact that you've been so specific on saying, just narrow it down. My top five. What am I good at? And
Mm,
correlate my passion and uh, what I'm actually good at. Now, Modoni, after we've done all this, how do we ensure that we are being authentic? How can we ensure the authenticity of our brands with regards to our values? Because on one hand, we also don't want to find ourselves in a place where we have cognitive dissonance, because what I want to present myself as is not aligned with my values, and so on and so forth. So, how can we ensure authenticity of our brands with regards to our values?
Great question. Your story. Your story is not the same as mine. It's as simple as that. So many people think too deep about being authentic. It's simply about your story, your journey. Your journey is so unique that it's not compared to mine. You're the only one who can actually share about your journey. So share it. That's the best way. You know, let's say we are in the same field. Yes, when I'm talking about personal branding, you're talking about LinkedIn, and it's just pure educational content. Yeah, there's no authenticity there. But if I bring in the aspect of my journey and what it has done, what personal branding has done to me, yeah, what LinkedIn has been able to help me with, that is now being authentic. That's taking it to another level. So that's what most people live out. So you need to really resonate with others. When I have shared my story so many times, and each and every time I share it, I am actually shocked so many people resonate with it. Like, we don't have exactly a similar story, but they resonate with it, like with the aspects of the lessons I learned, or just something similar happened to them, right? So that is being authentic, and you are actually connecting deeply with your audience. So it's as simple as that. Being authentic, just share your story, and you're creating content, educational or valuable content. Add some authenticity in it by sharing your journey. Yeah.
I feel, Miss Muthoni, like we need to have another session, or we need to attend a masterclass with you on storytelling. I follow your post and you do it so well. I'm able to connect with what you're saying and the story just flows. So, and it helps me to say, okay, this one has lived experience. She's not just throwing information at me. Note,
Mm,
just take a note, Miss Modoni. We need to have us how to tell a storytelling masterclass or session with you. Totally parallel thought. So I see that you post. So maybe even as we're speaking about and trying to answer this question, you can help us understand, how do you ensure consistency of your brand? How do you determine how frequently you should post, what time you should post, and all those other factors that go into ensuring consistency of your brand?
great question. Baby steps. It's as simple as that. I wasn't posting every day when I began my journey of being active last year. So the thing is, so many people think that I started my journey on LinkedIn last year. No, I opened my LinkedIn profile in 2019, but I started being active last year. So since 2019 till 2022, let me just say 2022 December, I was able to gain 2,000 followers. So now, beginning of 2023 is when I had 2,000 followers, and now I'm going from 2,000 followers to now 32,000 followers. So consistency, I can say, if you wish to have consistency, just take baby steps, and each and every month take it to another level, just slightly higher. What do I mean? So I started like posting 3 posts a week, just 3 posts a week, right? You pick any day, three, as long as at the end of the week you've actually posted 3 posts and you've spread them out like in an equal way. And you can maintain a certain timetable, like let's say Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I maintained that timetable. The following month, I took it at a higher note, at a higher notch, 4 posts a week, right? I'm still gaining confidence. Remember, right? You need to also gain that confidence that you're able to actually share information, that you're actually improving on your content as well. So don't put pressure on yourself. Then from 4 posts, 5 posts a week, until I realized, oh my goodness, people are actually on LinkedIn even during the weekends. So let me take it another higher note on Saturday. So Monday to Saturday. Then, like a month later, I took it up. Let me take the challenge Sundays. And let me tell you, I was doing some amazing posts that like really blew up on Sunday and even on Saturday. So it's simply baby steps. Believe in yourself and make sure you're actually at par with what you're doing. Yeah, let the week not end and you haven't completed your 3 posts or your 4 posts. So make sure you adhere to it. For the busy leaders, because I work with leaders, for the busy leaders, if you know that your schedule, it's too tight, but you really want to actually create your personal brand, then schedule your posts early in advance. Yes, please do take it to another higher level, but make sure you create time. What do I mean? You can literally schedule your posts up to December. Do you know that? I mean, we're in July. You can literally decide, right? Let me finish with all this content planning and everything. I schedule my post till December, right? And anything comes up, I can always, one thing about timeless content, and by timeless I mean it doesn't matter the time that you've posted. Let's say, because I've actually scheduled my posts up to 2 months. So the good thing about timeless content, like let's say today I attended a networking event, I must post about it tomorrow because it's still fresh, and I don't want to, that's a post that I can't post the next month. So whatever I was to post tomorrow, that post that I scheduled it tomorrow, I can always push it forward. It's as simple as that, because it's timeless. Because this one, it's, just like a journalist. Because sometimes since I studied journalism, I think like a journalist. I don't want this to be stale. This is fresh, yeah, and it's perishable information. Because you cannot put up a post of a networking event that you attended last month. My goodness, last month, are you serious? Right? That is some really fresh, good content that you need to make ASAP. I can remember literally I left a certain networking event actually just a few months ago at midnight, and I made sure, while in the Uber, Mumbi, imagine, while in the Uber, I was creating the next day's post, because I said when I get home, it's just me and the bed. But I'm not sleeping if this post is not scheduled. And I had already taken photos. Of course, the photographers took some photos, but you can't wait until the photographer sends the photos. So many times people wait until the photographer sends the photos. Please don't, you take photos with your phone, really good photos. So I take photos with my phone, and that is what I'll be able to schedule them. But if the photographer sends in time, well and good, it works for the better. So I literally schedule my posts whenever I leave an event, a networking event. While in the Uber, I'm going home, I am scheduling it then the post that was to go tomorrow, it's a timeless post. As long as it's timeless, I will reschedule. But let's say it's a post of me celebrating a certain, milestone of followers or analytics, I can simply just move it to the following day, not too far, because once again, that's fresh. That's fresh content, and you wouldn't want it to become stale, right? So just push it just slightly forward. But if it's a timeless post, please don't mind, even push it till the end of the month or the following month. Yeah, however you've been able to schedule it. That's what I normally do.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's some good information, Mudani. Very, very good in information. And also thinking about it, I think the LinkedIn algorithm actually rewards people who post consistently. So there is that too. And moving on to the next question, how can you effectively communicate your personal brand to others? If in like almost like an elevator pitch, Miss Mudoni, when you meet somebody and they ask you, What do people know you for? How do you effectively communicate that? You are on mute, Miss Muthoni. One moment, please. Let's just give Miss Muthoni a moment and let's just engage on the comment section. What are our biggest takeaways so far? I've just learned information is perishable. Schedule your post, schedule. But if something happens today, tomorrow, post it as soon as you can. Consistency is key and taking baby steps. Thank you, Mary Wawero, for sharing that. Factors to consider when choosing your area to grow or brand. Alexander, Miss Muthoni has responded to this. The recording will be available afterwards for you to catch up on or to revisit. Know your purpose in life, know your calling, what makes you happy. Thank you, Maxwell, for sharing this. Nice stuff. Thank you, Kipchirchir, for the encouragement. There is power in specialization. Thank you, Lily, for sharing this. Now we go back to Miss Muthoni. We were asking Miss Muthoni, how do we effectively communicate our personal brands to others? Because I'm imagining if you meet with a senior leader, director, country manager, regional head, and they ask you, what do people know you for? How do you, in those few minutes that this person has given you of their time, how do you effectively communicate your brand?
Yes, great question. What what I normally advise my clients as well as my participants, you need to have an unforgettable brand statement. How you introduce yourself matters a whole lot. Gone are the days that you simply say, "Oh hi, I'm Muthoni Njoroge. I am the managing director of this certain company." You've just simply just mentioned your current role. And the thing is, by doing that, yeah, let me say, I am Miss Muthoni Njoroge. I am the head of sales at Safaricom. What I have done, I have branded myself for the job that I currently have. And that is so wrong. You need to brand yourself for the career you want, not the job you have. And that's actually a quote by Don Squabble. So, what do I mean? When you introduce yourself, don't mention your role. Don't mention your role. You have cornered yourself. You have positioned yourself just in the job you are, not in the career you desire to be in. So, an unforgettable statement is a powerful way to introduce yourself that just from the name of it, it will be unforgettable. You will make a very good impression. So this is actually a premium content that I share in my bootcamp, but for this, I will just share. So creating an unforgettable brand statement is simply capturing the value you create. I hope you're writing this down. Capture the value you create, who you create it for, and the expected outcome of what you do. I'll repeat, capture the value you create, who you create it for, and the expected outcome of what you do. Do not mention your role anywhere. So, how do you go about it? For example, let me start by giving my own example. When I introduce myself, I say, I am Miss Muthoni Njoroge. I fuel the LinkedIn success of leaders through igniting their personal brands to be visible and attract lucrative opportunities on LinkedIn. Right? I haven't mentioned my role. I've mentioned exactly what I do, who I do it for, and the expected outcome. I repeat, I fuel the LinkedIn success of leaders, that is my target audience, through igniting their personal brands to be visible and attract lucrative opportunities. What have I done? It's simply, this is how the statement looks like. I, what you do in an engaging way, using your key qualities to the impact it has or the outcome you hope to achieve. This is the best way you can leave an impeccable impression in an engaging way. Let it just not be flat. Let me tell you, every time I introduce myself using this statement, there are follow up questions. That is interesting. Would you kindly tell us more about it? And let me tell you, if all heads will now turn to you and they are now interested in what you're doing. But when you simply say, "Oh, I am Miss Muthoni Njoroge, I'm a personal branding and LinkedIn expert," that's not a conversation starter. That's a conversation ender if there's something of the sort. Yeah. So you need to have a conversation starter. But even beyond that, have an impeccable impression. Because literally, I used to have business cards, but they ended. So when I started introducing myself with this, trust you me, everyone rushed to check me out on LinkedIn. Even before I left, I'm like, "Muthoni, before you go, please, I'm on LinkedIn. Please open your profile for me. Let me see." And they get to follow me then. And I tell them, "Please also send me a message and we can have a chat." I haven't carried a business card, but just because of introducing myself like that, they will definitely end up reaching out to me. So I'll repeat one more time: creating an unforgettable statement. It's capturing the value you create, who you create it for, and the expected outcome of what you do. So the statement looks like this: I, what you do in an engaging way, using your key qualities. And these key qualities must be your strengths. Two, the impact it has or the outcome you hope to achieve. Whichever role you are in, whatever you're currently doing, there must be impact. Once again, impact is what will make you stand out from your competition. Nothing else. Nolina and I can post literally every day about personal branding, but what makes me stand out and what makes Nolene stand out is simply impact. As simple as that. Thank you, Mombi.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. For sharing that, I think you've also answered what strategy can you use, and I think the strategy is exactly what you've shared. It's in the comment section for those of us who are following. Please do type in your key takeaways. We are helping each other to take notes during this class. One of our audience, Ms. Muthoni, right now, as you were speaking, has asked, "How do you exude confidence in addition to your personal brand? Are they mutually exclusive?" Confidence and personal brand.
Awesome, great question. Yes, you must exude confidence. Let me tell you. I remember when I attended my very first networking event, getting into this career last year. I was so confident, yet I literally think had less than 3 months experience, but I was confident in what I'm doing, and that's because I had studied the platform. I had gotten to work with a couple of guys, so I had a bit of social proof, but I knew what I was doing. I mean, studying LinkedIn day and night. So you need to be very confident. And just how do you exude confidence? It starts from within. Are you sure of what you're saying? Literally, right? Don't say something that you are unsure of. Never. Even preparing for this audio event, I literally have my notes with me. I know exactly what I'm saying, right? You plan for it ahead. That's something else people normally, a lot of professionals rarely do. Preparation. Preparation is key in everything you do. Let me tell you, I prepare myself before I literally step outside the door. What do I mean? From my knowledge, when I get to meet someone, when I get to meet a potential client, I exactly know what I'm going to say. I have a script in mind because I have prepared, right? I mean, in terms of my unforgettable brand statement. And from there, what else should I add? Right? So you need to exude confidence from a point of knowledge. I remember, I think just we've come recently from the on the protest that we had for rejecting the finance bill, and I think I saw a certain creator on X saying, as much as we are rejecting the finance bill, please be prepared when a journalist comes to you and asks you why you're rejecting the finance bill, so that you don't look dumb, you don't look like you don't know what you're doing, and you just look like you're just there for the fame and everything, because we actually had a good cause. We were actually trying to do something. We had a goal, so everyone needed to be prepared that when you're asked why you're rejecting the finance bill, you had the facts right. Yeah, so you're not just there mumbling. So just getting that, bring it now to your career. When you get out of the house, make sure you exude that confidence, and that confidence will actually showcase your personal brand. Literally, confidence just makes your personal brand shine brighter. Mumbi, I am always so happy whenever I meet my clients. Not only will I show up through my appearance, I will look like my brand, I will look so good. But beyond that, I have knowledge. And one thing about my clients, they will always boast about me. Like when a friend or a colleague or just an acquaintance comes to greet them, they'll always say, by the way, do you know Muthoni? Right? They are very confident in introducing you because you are also confident of yourself and you're confident of what you're doing. So confidence just boosts your personal brand, as simple as that.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And also, on a light note, as you were
Mhm.
speaking about the people being told you need to know why you're rejecting the finance bill, I remember when I was in the university, we had a student strike, and one of the students was asked by the journalist, "So why are you striking?" And he said, "Because bei ya chapo imepanda from 7 bob to 9 bob." Let me translate for our global audience. The price of flatbread has increased from 7 shillings to 9 shillings. That was not the reason why the students went on strike. The students went on strike because of increasing fees. But just on a lighter note, to add to what you were saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Our
Mm.
second last question. My goodness, they're coming in thick, but we have a hard stop at 6:57. We need to release Miss Modani early today. So one of our audience, Miss Modani, is asking attention to detail. I've spent years creating my brand to beloved MBA. How do I take it bigger? So how do we make our brands bigger?
Ooh, nice one, nice one. And definitely, I believe when you say bigger, you also mean global, right? It's just not, dominating in your locality or your region, but global.
Yeah,
Great
not
question.
being a village champion.
Yeah, yeah. It's all about networking. Let me tell you, there's power in networking. And I don't mean just going to the physical networking events, but also online. Let me tell you, I follow so many international creators, people like Melanie Borden, Jasmine Alik, Amelia Sordell. There's Toby from Canada. He has around 200 and something thousand followers. Vusi, right? Following these people, and let me tell you, when they have a webinar or whatever, an online event, I jump, as long as it's free, I jump into it. And even if it's not free, but I'm able to afford, I will also jump into it. Why? Through such platforms, you're able to attract the international audience. You're able to now take your profile to another level. I have actually attended so many audio events by international creators that every time after that audio event, I make sure I actually connect with at least 15 people. And these guys are very serious when they do their LinkedIn lives and audio events because they will get, 50 plus people. So just 15, I get to connect with 15 and I start conversations with them. I'm taking my brand to the next level. It's going bigger and bigger. Jumping on coffee chats. Do you know about coffee chats? What is a coffee chat? A coffee chat is simply me reaching out to creator like Edward Asari. I reached out to Edward Asari to invite him to speak at my LinkedIn audio event. But then later he actually said he looked at my profile and he was so impressed and he actually said, Muthoni, could we have a coffee chat? And just talk about our journeys on LinkedIn. And I said, of course, why not? We jumped on the call and now we've been friends ever since. My goodness, right? So you see, just through such 10-minute, 15-minute coffee chats, you just share about your journeys on LinkedIn and whatever comes to mind as well. You share your experiences. You're already tapping into that country. I was able to tap into Ghana through Edward Asari as well as Parkwesi Folsom. I invited them to my audio events and we have been in conversations with them ever since. Literally, I even have their phone numbers. Talking about people like Sher Jones, I invited Sher Jones last year to my LinkedIn audio event when I had, I think, around 5,000 followers. She's quite huge in Canada. And let me tell you, I was so scared. I thought she would actually ignore me, but she didn't. She actually accepted, and we jumped on a coffee chat with her, and we spoke, I think, for even almost 2 hours. I couldn't even believe these guys are so friendly. As long as you know what you're doing, as long as you're also a conversationalist, please learn how to create conversations. And it's a great way to start just from LinkedIn. Your experiences on LinkedIn, your journey, have also questions for them. Let me tell you, especially these big creators and just experts with a huge following and community on LinkedIn or just any other platform, they like to be asked so many questions in regards to that platform, because such a person with hundreds of thousands of followers, definitely, let's say they've built their brand like for 5 years on LinkedIn, yet I'm here, this is my second year, so definitely I have a lot to learn from him or her. So I will ask so many questions and they will feel free to answer, because they feel like a teacher, because wow, okay, so you actually want to tap into my knowledge and you actually deem me so knowledgeable, right? Let me tell you, they love that. So reach out to people for coffee chats, right? But even when you reach out for a coffee chat, I would rather you reach out to them by inviting them for an audio event or a LinkedIn live or just any webinar, right? That is a great way to start a conversation. But just even attending a LinkedIn live or an audio event, you can always network within. Okay. Another way, definitely, it's through commenting. Please comment thoughtfully. Stop with the thanks for sharing, impressive, congratulations. Literally, like what's that? Create a thoughtful comment. Leave it in the big creators, comment section, and make sure it stands out. I'm not saying don't forget the small creators, or the upcoming rather, the upcoming creators. Please also comment on theirs, because I also do that. But I'm saying when you're commenting on a big creators post, think of it like you are actually about to pitch yourself to the president. Not really the president of your country. If you don't like the president of your country, like a lot of Kenyans, just on a side note, um, think of it like you're about to pitch to a very huge company or your dream company or somebody who has a great opportunity for you. I remember last year I pitched, I mean, not pitched, I commented very thoughtfully, like continuously, like for a whole month, on Gary V's posts on LinkedIn. Gary Vaynerchuk, he has around 6 point something million followers, and I thoughtfully commented, and he actually replied 3 times. Out of the entire month, he replied 3 times. That was huge for me. But beyond that, do you know, I actually gained almost 100 international connections, and that is how I actually landed my first international client from France, and I was so shocked. So there is power in commenting. Please do not underestimate it. I've landed so many clients through just the comment section, and I still comment till date. You'll see me commenting on other people's posts because there is power in it. So please, that is how you get to take your personal brand to the next level. Connecting as well. Don't forget to connect with other people, right? Internationally. But don't just simply connect generically. Yeah, connect by adding a personalized note. How do you do that? The best way is through the networking event. So let's say you've attended this, so I reach out to, I think I saw Victoria, so say, hi Victoria, we just got from Nolene's LinkedIn live. These were my key takeaways. How about you? What were your key takeaways? I would love to connect with you. As simple as that, you've already built a connection, right? And I don't think anyone in their right mind will reject that, right? So you definitely accept. So those are some of the ways you can take your personal brand to the next level. Thank you, Nolene.
Thank you so much, Miss Modoni, for sharing that. I'll just put in a request because you're dropping names and I'm just following. I'm like, okay, do I follow that person? Connect. Do I connect? Let me just request that you drop those names in the comment section for us to follow up on. I see Toby Love also says that she's hosting a webinar soon. Toby, we are coming to your page. We are gathering all information. This is the year of eliminating ignorance. Thank you so much for sharing that. Miss Modoni, my last question to you, I'm very, very conscious of the time that we have today, is a concern that has been raised on how our employers, our supervisors interpret or perceive our engagement on LinkedIn. And one of the comments that has been said to me was along the lines of, how does your employer allow you to do this? Why is your does your employer not have an issue with you doing this? And it was being asked in a very innocent sense, but I understand also that there is the angle of, there is a demographic where companies, employers, supervisors are not very comfortable with seeing their teams, the talent in their organizations, showing up on LinkedIn, sharing the information and their knowledge on LinkedIn. But I feel that LinkedIn is one of those spaces where a company can actually also grow their brand and use it for talent retention. But you're the subject matter expert on this, and I just want to ask you, in your opinion, from your experience engaging with such a wide range of professionals from such a wide range of companies, what is your take, and countries also, by the way, what is your take on how companies can support personal branding for talent acquisition and retention, and even for their own personal branding as companies?
Great question. Great question. And it's a very tricky one because I've had so many challenges with my clients. Now, first of all, anyone who may think that I'm employed, unfortunately, I'm not. Not unfortunately, I should be bold. I'm not employed. I'm actually an employer myself. I'm a founder of Bold Creatives Network. So for me, going all out with my personal brand, I'm not worried about, what, because I don't have an employer, so I'm not worried about, being fired or anything of the sort. But definitely, I am worried about how my image looks like. What exactly am I known for? And my reputation, definitely that has to be in mind. But for those who actually are employed, I have had so many participants as well as clients whom had to hold off from their personal branding and just creating content on LinkedIn because of issues with the company. But the thing is, employers need to understand that they actually gain a lot from their employees creating content. No, they don't need to actually literally put it out there that this is what they do in the company, not marketing the company, but marketing themselves. Let me give you a good example of there is there's this lady, actually the CEO of MTN Uganda, Steph Mulinge. If I'm not wrong, let me just confirm her name, but it should be Steph. Um, yeah, she was, if you know her story, she was in Safaricom, right? Now, her going from Safaricom to MTN Uganda to be a CEO of MTN Uganda, it's all because of her personal brand, right? Now, she wasn't basically creating content and just tagging Safaricom every time, every time, every time. No, no, that's not what she was doing. She was building her personal brand. But let me tell you the power of personal branding, that even when you get to a room like, oh, that is Muthoni from Safaricom. Oh yeah, and yeah, she works for Safaricom. Wow, impressive. Like it's an value addition that even the company can boast about you. Yeah, I have had so many clients who have built their personal brands and they've actually been able to take the company to the next level. I mean, the company got awards, the company was able to even attend speaking engagements, and even the person was able to go and represent the company. So the employers who actually view it at a very positive lens. And it has its own positivity, definitely, but there are others who look at it that like this is a person who just wants to get a new job, this is a person who just wants to leave this job, and so they fire them or they give them a warning and all. But no, there's power in that individual creating content, building their personal brand. As long as they're not tarnishing your company, that then that shouldn't matter, right? And it doesn't matter if even if they don't mention your company. Trust you me, I will be, of course I'll be keen to look. So many people have been keen to even scroll my profile and see where exactly does Muthoni work, right? So many people will be keen to see where does Mumbi work as well, right? With such knowledge, where is she utilizing this knowledge? That is the question a lot of your audience will be asking. So, to the employers, please, please allow your employees to actually create content to build their personal brands, most importantly, because it will also work for your benefit. Yeah, not it's not just about selfish reasons, it's also about for your company. They will take your company to the next level, because if the person is actually invited to speak at an awards or actually at a very big conference, right, they will definitely know that this person is working for this company, and it will actually, put your company in a very good image that, wow, you guys have quite some great employees or some great people in your team, right? So please view it in a very positive lens. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Muthoni, for sharing this. Personally, my employer allows me to do this. Of course, there is a social media policy. I have to state that. So, for everyone listening, please don't go rogue. Find out what is the social media policy in your company, even as you begin to grow your personal brand or you continue to grow your personal brand. We have come to the end of our live event this evening. I do see some questions regarding how to revamp the profiles. Please do reach out to Miss Muthoni Njoroge. She is very responsive on on LinkedIn. She's very, very easy to reach out to on LinkedIn. Do reach out to her. Do follow her. Assignment before you log off for today, just check on the chat who has attended, who has commented, and purpose to connect with at least 5 people. Let's practice what we've been taught, not just taking in information and not actioning it. That said, Miss Muthoni, thank you so much for all the wisdom that you have shared, for all the information that you have shared, and being so open and just letting us into what your journey has been, what your lived experience has been, making this even more relatable as we've been listening to you during the past 1 hour. Thank you so, so much. And
Mm,
thank you to our
thank
audience. Thank you for making the time. Sorry, Miss Modani, parting words before we leave.
yeah.
Sorry for cutting you short.
It's okay. It's okay. Thank you so much for the invitation. To everyone here, just like Don Squabble put it, brand yourself for the career you want, not the job you have. As simple as that. Start building your personal brand now, because let me tell you, your competition is already doing it. So why be left behind? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Modoni. Thank you, everyone. If you're live with us right now, please just put in a comment. One of the best ways to internalize what you have been taught is to write it down. So before you log off, just put in the chat what has been your key takeaway. That said, everyone, have a fantastic evening. I will see you next week as we connect with Najda on how to own the room. See you next week. Bye, everyone.